Hi, this is Carolyn Whitman with another episode of CEOs You Should Know. Today, I am sitting down with Evan Bass, the CEO and founder of Menspro Health. Evan, welcome. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
No, we're super excited. I feel like if you're listening, if you're tuning in on video, you're probably like, this guy looks pretty familiar to me. Evan, why do they know you?
Well, I had a run on reality TV
Yeah.
and Bachelorette and Bachelor in Paradise for a few years there. Yeah.
So cool. But you have such a multifaceted life. So you have this whole other side of you that we're going to dive into today, which is Menspro Health. Can you tell us a little bit about what Menspro Health is?
Yeah. So Menspro Health is a group of anti-aging practices. We're urology-based, like concierge clinic that
Very cool.
Yeah, we help like men's sexual health, like anti-aging. We're doing ED, erectile dysfunction, low testosterone, and then we're doing some pretty cool urology stuff too, like girth enhancement.
Yeah.
And some new procedures that are coming down. So it's pretty cool. It's
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's a topic. I feel like it's a topic we need to talk about because sometimes topics like this are a little taboo, but it's something that men need to know about.
Absolutely. No, and men's health has been talked about more and more recently. Like I've been doing men's health for almost 20 years. And back in the day, it was like, what do you do?
Yeah.
Well, what are you talking about? Erectile dysfunction. That's kind of weird. And now it's like, oh yeah. And like, it's like becoming more common knowledge and realizing kind of what's happening to men, especially their testosterone. Like male testosterone has decreased over the past 20 years, like dramatically. Like it's in the gutter compared to what it was when I first started helping guys out. Yeah.
And how are you like helping elevate that testosterone? So hypothetical situation, I'm a man, I'm listening right now, or maybe I'm a wife that's like, hey, we need a little bit of help. How are you helping elevate it? And like, what's your process in like analyzing someone and bringing them in to like really get them what they need? Yeah.
Well, blood test is really important.
Okay.
So that's the first step is like check your T level. And again, with the change in like just the male chemistry that's happened, you want to get tested earlier rather than later.
Makes
like
sense.
Back in the day, guys would come in their 50s and 60s and start testosterone. Now, I mean, it's like guys in their 20s and 30s have it now, which is crazy. And so you want to come in and see someone like it's a controlled substance, testosterone. And so, but we naturally produce it in our body. And so you want to get that blood test. And then there's a list of symptoms that you're going to have if you have low T. And so based on that and your age, like you don't want to give a 18-year-old testosterone, but there's other things you can do to boost it like naturally. And then ultimately, like if you need it and you're qualified for it, you can take testosterone. So, but there's a few different options.
Sure. No, that makes so much sense. And I feel like it's something that a lot of people out there, like I can talk about my husband firsthand. He probably has no idea about his testosterone. It's probably something he's very nervous to talk to his doctor about, but you make it easy. I was looking at your website, you have this massive network of clinics. So where can people find you? How can they access you?
Yeah, so you can go to menspro.com and you can see the list of clinics. We have one right here in Manhattan, over in Grand Central, right across the street from Grand Central Station. Fantastic provider. He's doing some really cool stuff with like girth enhancement, which is literally it's like filler that, like you get in your cheeks and stuff.
Yeah.
You can literally put it down there.
Interesting.
And it's hyaluronic acid, so it's like naturally occurring in the body and you can increase your size like within an hour. Like it's nuts. It's really, really cool and dramatic results. So I know
that's wild.
Talk about taboo. People are like,
come
what
on.
are you talking
People hear
about?
girth enhancement and they're like, wait, what are they talking about?
And
like, it's a real topic.
Yeah.
Like,
and there's
something that people may need or may be interested in.
Yeah, this is going to rock your world too. We're using Botox for erectile dysfunction.
So interesting.
Botox.
How does that work?
Yeah, so you basically take the same thing that you do in your face.
Sure.
Not you. I'm not saying you do it. I do. The same thing
we haven't
put
taken that step yet.
and you basically do an injection in the penis.
Wow.
And it helps ED. Like it's like that. It's been well studied. Like we're seeing fantastic results with it.
Very cool.
And it makes you look better in a swimsuit too.
There you go. And the girth, all the things.
I'm sorry. I'm just throwing this stuff at you like you're like in it.
I'm pretty much like a Grey's Anatomy doctor. So here we're having a medical conversation. It's totally fine.
Yeah, we should have waded into this a little more.
No. Let's dive in. I feel like I have 3 brothers. I have a husband. Like you can't really catch me off guard. So we can really dive into the nitty gritty because where else are people talking about it, right?
Yeah.
So if this is a place that someone can come to and find information that helps them, whether it be business information or it be personal information, let's have at it, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's a big deal. And again, the puns, they roll off the tongue when you start talking
sure.
about it. But it's a big deal.
But it's a big deal and it's a serious topic too.
Yeah. And again, watching guys over the past 20 years and you can just see there's been a change in like, and everyone thinks about testosterone being like, it's like,
strong stuff.
Bodybuilders and stuff like that. But actually it's like mood and sleep and all, so many things that affect how we feel. And so a lot of times guys are like, that are cranky.
Yeah.
You'd think you give them testosterone, they'll become more cranky. It's the opposite. They feel better and they get more chill, believe it or not. So
very cool. How did you find passion in this? Like, how did you get started? Like, where did this all come from?
Yeah. So I, back in the day was an EMT on an ambulance. And so I was like sick of doing those 24-hour shifts and seeing dead people and all that stuff. And so I was like, well, and I had like a small family. And so I was like, how can I like get a job? So a long time ago, probably before your time, you used to find jobs on Craigslist.
Mm-hmm.
And so
doesn't sound sketchy at all.
But that was a thing. I've actually found a lot of doctors back like a long time ago on Craigslist.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but Craigslist was like, so I went on and there was like unique niche medical practice seeking an EMT for office work. And I was like, so I answered the ad. And I walk in and there's a man sitting behind the desk.
Going in there. Like...
Yeah. Well, I walk in and there's a man sitting there with a rubber penis on his desk. And I was like, okay. I'm on the wrong side of Craigslist. Like I answered the wrong ad. I was like, he's like, no. This is we're helping erectile dysfunction, all this stuff. And I was like, are you sure? Okay.
Yeah. Can
whatever.
You move the penis?
And then, because there's no such thing. Like there weren't testosterone clinics or men's health clinics, or this stuff didn't exist then. And so I was like, well, I guess I'll give it a shot. And I was like, man. So like that first week, I was like, holy crap, we're changing people's lives.
Yeah.
And so like just took to it, ended up managing a practice and then getting promoted a few times. And then actually the owner of those practices passed away. And so
sorry to hear that.
I went to a doc. Yeah, it was like 2010. And so I went to a doctor. I was like, I think we can do this. You do the doctor stuff, and I'll do the operations and all that stuff. And so I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to run a business or anything like that. And he was like, sure, son, how much you need? And I was like, I told him, and he just like writes me a check. I'm like, all right, what do I do with this?
This is great.
And so that was opened our first clinic in 2012.
Wow.
And since then we've been rocking and rolling.
Oh, that's awesome. How many clinics are you in today?
13 at the moment.
That's impressive.
Yeah, should have 18 by the end of the year.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Well, it just shows how important it is, right? And access is also important because you want to go somewhere that you know where it is, you can find it. Like if people are tuning in and they're like, okay, like I wish there was one here, like there may be one soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now we're coming.
Very cool. Managing all those clinics, like, and having like this brand and this business, you also are a father and you have 5 children.
Yes.
How? I have a toddler and I'm like barely surviving. So like, how are you figuring this out? Please give us all your secrets.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not. That's a great challenge, but it's certainly showing up for the kids when being present when I am present.
Yeah.
And I do travel a lot, but they like I have a goal of showing up for every single one of my kids' games. Like not going to miss a game. Soccer, awesome. Whatever it is, football.
It's also commitment.
Yeah. And so that's like if you show up during those important moments. I'm not going to show up to a second grade graduation though. I don't understand why we have graduation. Anyway, that's in this.
We celebrate everything. Celebrate all the moments.
I'm not going to.
You're like, why? Yeah.
But the big moments, and then obviously, I think the biggest challenge for a CEO is like you could always work. Like it could be 8:00 at night, and someone's blowing you up about some horrible thing that's happening, and you're like, I can deal with this in the morning. Like I need to be here for the family. So I think that's again, working hard, running around, but being present when you are present is everything. Being available. Awesome.
Yeah. Family man, helping make families. You're doing all the things. So that's very cool.
Totally.
When you look at, and sometimes I feel like becoming a parent, it's kind of helped the way I manage and like help the way I like think about situations and even in leadership. You're leading this whole like movement, this industry. You have teams, you have all these things. How has that really impacted your leadership like skill set and how have you learned from different challenges that have come across the way?
Yeah. Haven't really had a choice. Like, it's just like, obviously I don't have like an MBA or like that, I've learned just from figuring it out and making every single mistake I possibly could.
Best way to learn.
Yeah. Well, is it?
I don't know. It's like trial by fire. It's like, this isn't really going to work. It's not. We're going to figure this out.
Yeah. But I don't know. But this is the only way I've done it. So it's been, failing and then just not giving up. Yeah. Right. Like, losing here, losing there, and then being like, just not giving myself a choice to go, to just stop. Like there's just like, success is the only way to do it. And so I think with that and just taking one step at a time, that's how I've learned how to lead. And I think, leadership is something, there's always, are you born with it or is it growing in it? I think it's a pretty good combination, but anyone can work on those skills. And And you just have to look back every once in a while, make sure people are actually following you.
They picking up what I'm putting down on that chart.
You hear?
Come on, we still got this.
Yeah.
No, it's important. I feel like to feel like that camaraderie and that team, like it's a moment, and when it's something you're so invested in, seeing people believe in it with you is got to be pretty empowering.
Yeah, that's been my focus the past couple of years, is bringing like amazing people on that are similar. Like we have the same core values, we see things the same way. We may actually not see things the same way, but we understand what the goal is. And if there's friction there, we know it's, for the greater good to figure it out. And so it's been so cool. Like right now, we have so many A players on the team right now that are just dedicated to helping guys get where they need to be.
That's awesome.
And in this business, this men's health world, it's attracting a lot of, people who are just like looking for a quick buck, or, don't really, they just are, testosterone's really hot right now. Every TikTok, thing is talking about, there's chiropractor.
Like it's like,
No, there's like a chiropractor that's like, you want to learn about testosterone? I'm like, you don't have any business in this world. Like, get out of here, man. Like, go crack it back. And and so I think having the people that are passionate and doing it from a place of like, I want to change the world with this and make guys better, make their relationships better. That's what I've been focused on. So I don't think, I'm not worried about competition if I have people that are completely dialed in on that.
No, it's important. It's important to have a team you believe in, but also a team that believes in you, because they're going to work twice as hard if they have that buy-in and they understand your direction and what you're trying to do. It feels like you are passionate about the subject, obviously, but also looking towards innovation. Like there's different things. You said there's so much on the horizon. There's so much coming. What is it? Like what's next for men's health?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of different things happening. I have a urology base, right? So like lots of urologists on the team. That's unique in this space, because a lot of times it's like an internal medicine guy who just got interested in it or something. But having like urology should be at the forefront of this in this world, but they just have been slow to the party. And so that's part of my mission, is to bring more urologists around, because this is their stuff. So since we have urologists, they're able to like look at new treatments in this world, like give them some room to go. So right now we're working on a new treatment for something called Peyronie's disease. And again, hope everybody's sitting down. It's
what is
you've
this?
probably never heard of it, but
Tell me more.
Like 9 to 10% of guys have it, and it's when your penis gets, it can actually get some plaque at the base of it, and it can actually curve, and it can be painful during sex. And so my urologist in Nashville has been treating patients for it with a couple different things, and it's like dramatic results. And these are guys who like can't have sex because it hurts too much, or it's like it's really crooked, and then we're seeing like massive shift in that.
That's life-changing.
It's huge.
Yeah.
And so stuff like that, I think is awesome. And then, there's like the whole peptide thing, which I think that's a promising future for peptides, but it's just so early. And pisses me off, all these peptide clinics out there being like, they don't have any studies.
Much. Like it's hard to navigate and figure out what's real, what's not real. So it's hard for potential patients to figure out what's realistic out there.
That's, and I think that's part of our goal, is to make sure that we're giving patients things that are well studied, understood, have been, seen, tried and true kind of stuff.
Important.
And then if you want to try something experimental, let's try it. We can try it, but understand the risks, understand the side effects, potential, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But guys are more, it's real easy. It's always been easy to get ladies to the doctor, but guys have become more interested in like aesthetic stuff and making different changes in their life and all that stuff, which is so cool. It's awesome.
They just need to know about it.
Yeah.
And even from like a female perspective, I mean, it used to be like to get my husband to go to the doctor, it'd be like, your arm's broken. Like I can tell it's broken. Like maybe we should see somebody. And he's like, I'm good. I'm like, all right, maybe we're not. But this is also like such a unique subject and a sensitive subject. If someone is listening in and they're like, all right, maybe this would be right for my partner, or maybe it's even right for me. What's the best way? And this is for personal coaching. Like, how would you coach a woman to be like, these are the ways that you should get your partner or husband to come in and figure something out?
Yeah. Well, I think a big part of it's going in with them. Like, hey, can I schedule this appointment for you? Well, let's do this together.
Cool.
And hey, maybe we can have more sex. I mean, obviously that's a big deal. And then like a lot of times guys, when they have low T, like their libido's low, or they're just like tired, like just like be like, hey, maybe there's something that can help. Like, have you ever thought about testosterone? They'll be like, yeah, I've heard some ads or whatever. And then be like, well, hey, go online, take this quiz. Like there's testosterone quiz. Let's just see. And like if you go to Menspro and then go to one of our clinics, like if you go to grandcentralmenshealth.com, there's there's a low T quiz that you can go to, and it's like, hey, you might have low T. It's like AI stuff, and it tells you,
So
if you should get checked, if it's even worth coming in to get checked, and all that stuff. So, yeah, I mean,
very cool.
It's hard. I mean, it is hard, but I'll tell you what. Part of what's changed about men's sexual health is women. Women care more about this now for their guy, and partners really matter. And so, like 30% of our website traffic right now is women looking for their partner, and so they're driving
I'm not
that
surprised.
Trend. Yeah, it's a big deal.
No,
it's really cool.
It's cool, and it's also like an educational standpoint. I think things like this and podcast and audio and conversation and social media, it makes it a part of the conversation. So it's not like you've randomly found this out from your doctor like 20 years too late. Now it's really a part of culture, and I think as time goes, it's going to become even more prevalent and even more a part of the conversation because of conversations like this. So thank you for sharing it.
Of course.
If there are like 5 key takeaways you want our audience to walk away from this particular podcast with, what would those be? From Menspro and what you offer.
Yeah. I think it's understanding that we only get one shot at this life.
Yeah.
That's it. And the sooner you are able to take care of yourself and put yourself in a position where you're moving forward, and I think that's massive. And then also, there's a certain loneliness that a lot of men feel like I think as a culture, we're bad at relationships.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say bad, that's blanket, but we struggle sometimes with allowing ourselves to be alone in friend groups and stuff like that. And I think, part of what Menspro is trying to do is to, be that support to help put, there's no magic wand, right?
Yeah.
You can't wave a magic wand and change somebody, but giving guys the edge to get to, have that mindset change of like, hey, maybe I can take some steps towards feeling better, towards being more social, to, improving my relationship instead of just coming home and sitting on the couch and falling asleep on the couch. Like that is, that's massive. The quicker you can do that, life starts today.
No, it does. And I think a really positive change in culture is self-help and self-awareness and self-care.
Yeah.
And I think everyone across the board is really leaning into taking care of themselves. And like that doesn't just start with your head, because I think mental health is really important right now.
Totally.
But mental health is so connected to every other part of the body. So if someone's listening, if someone's interested in finding out more information, do you want to remind them again on how they find you and find more information?
Yeah. Just go to menspro.com and you can see all our clinics and stuff like that, and where some of the ones we're opening, and we just opened one in Fort Lauderdale. So
awesome.
We're coming soon to a city near you.
Yes, they'll be everywhere. No, that's awesome. And for our New Yorkers that are tuning in, Grand Central Men's Health, you're located there, incredible establishment. So do something for you, do something for your family, do something to enhance the rest of your life, and check out more information. We really appreciate having you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.